Salvete omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. In the last episode, we had a disagreement with the military leader, and we got a new party member. Olivier Lenheim, our spoony bard. So, I'll check out what he does. About the same defense as the same defense as Sherazard. Actually, more strength and, or both more physical and magic attack than everybody else. Speed's the same as everyone except Joshua. Pretty decent dexterity. Agility and movement not as good as Shera, or even with Estelle, but he has really good range because of the weapon he uses. An orbital gun. He also has a leather jacket and some work boots. So now for his orbment, he is actually the first character we get who only has one orbment line. So that also makes him the first explicitly caster type we have. Since anything we put on him will always count all together. I said that weird. I mean, since he only has one line, it'll always add the elemental values of everything that we have inserted. So we may as well give him our 2 remaining quartz. We can't put another attack 1 in there because he already has one. Yeah, he has 1 slot locked to Mirage, but the others are free for anything. And the last one isn't open yet. So with 3 Mirage, we should give him Chaos Brand at some point as well, but again, we don't really have the stuff for it. Actually, can we get any more food from the... Okay, no we can't. So, back we go. Actually, what does our quest log say? Okay. Capua family demanded a ransom. More burbs. And now we have 2 people who can cast fire magic. Oh, why the heck not? I mean, I think they're all gonna die by the time Estelle gets to cast anyway. Let's also check out Olivier's crafts. He has Quick Draw and Howling Bullet. Finally, a multi-target S-craft, about darn time. And this one's also multi-target, and has an area, or obviously it has an area of effect if it's multi-target. But it's another point-targeted thing. Not that it matters, because... what was I saying? Oh, he doesn't have any CP. Right. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if we spam our magic, because... we're going back to town anyway, and we can restore everything. Fire! Might as well see if they're immune to confusion. That won't do much of anything, I don't think, but... yeah, they are. I mean, or I guess we could always check in the monster log, but... whatever.
Enjoy the show.
I will, you spoony bard. Actually, I probably won't. Honestly, we can probably just skip the rest of these. They don't drop any Sepith that we need right now. They don't give that much experience. So yeah, let's just move on. It really seems like there should be a treasure chest there. None on this road in general. Guess we'll have to find a dungeon, don't we? Won't we? So back to the East Bowes Highway. Oh yeah, and I guess we have 4 party members now, which is as many as you can ever have at once. So this is Bowes, is it? It's more urban than I'd imagined. That building over there is Bowes Market, no? Well, you seem to be quite knowledgeable. Are you sure this is really your first time in Liberl? Ha, I was smart enough to buy a tourist guidebook before I left. One published by your very own Liberl News, no less. A guidebook? Do they really sell such things? I don't know how to say it, but we live in a really convenient age. So, do you intend to go shopping at the Beau's Market now? Yep, and after doing a bit of window shopping, I plan to dress up and dine out. According to the guide, there's supposed to be a 3-star restaurant in town. Right, the place we ate at with the mayor, or... What I mean to say is, I guess this is the place. Anti-Rose? The Anti-Rose, authentic Liberl cuisine, or so they say. Indeed, no doubt this is the place. I'm quite looking forward to it. But it's supposed to cost a pretty mira if you decide to go with the full-course meal. I'd have to recommend a normal bar any day over this. Worry not, my fair lady, I've brought sufficient travel expenses. And if that's not enough, I'll earn more with my superb skills. Superb skills? You're not talking about your songs and musical, renditions, are you? Can you actually earn mira with that crap? Ha! I've starred as the main opera singer at the great theater in the Erebonian capital before. If I remember right, I once earned 1 million mira in a single night. Big fat liar. Alright, everyone, good work. I guess this is farewell until fate brings us together once more. Adios, amigos. Oh, well, he didn't stick with us long. What horror have we unleashed upon this poor innocent city? Is everyone from Erebonia a weirdo like that? I don't think I like the idea of that being the Empire's stereotype. Huh? What I'm trying to say is that I think the majority of the people there are quite serious. I read in a book that their ethos respects the strong silent type. So what you're saying is that he's simply a weirdo because he's an artist? Now just hold up there, Estelle. If the artists of this world heard that, they'd be less than pleased. Let's see, we need to report the information we got out of the General to Lugren. And it would be best if we let Mayor Maybell know after that, too. So first we visit the guild and then the mayor's residence. Okay, let's get going. Who do we have to talk to about the chickens again? Ah, Anti-Rose, so we're going to the restaurant after all. Let's see. Her? Gwen, okay. Have your chicken. Oh, thank you so much for going to all the trouble. I'm sure you must have been busy with your other work. There's no problem at all. Helping those in need is what our job in Bracers is all about. Job as Bracers is all about. Yes, it's just like Estelle said. And now with the airliners at a standstill, it's a difficult time for all of us. I really appreciate you saying that. But the little bit of mira I'm paying just doesn't seem like enough. Oh, I know. Please let me do this for you, too. Excuse me, huh? Do what? I'll teach you how to make my specialty omelets. You mean the ones served here at Anti-Rose? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is it okay for you to be giving out your recipes like that? Don't worry, it's not a problem. Even if you make a dish just like the recipe says, it doesn't mean that you'll get the same taste. Sounds like you got a lot of confidence in your cooking. Remember, it's not about whether you're good or bad. It's like the relationship between a musician and her sheet of music. Depending on the person, the song will sound different, even though the music is exactly the same. That's pretty profound. A recipe, in the end, is nothing more than a framework to make something delicious. By only following the rules, you'd be surprised at how many different ways the end flavor turns out. And we get a new recipe. Score! We'll have to give this a try later on. Estelle, now this is just a little pre-cooking advice, so don't take it the wrong way, but please read the recipe before you try it. How rude! What are you trying to say, that I'm the worst cook ever? Then make sure you measure how much seasoning you put in. A pinch of salt doesn't mean that you should drop a fistful in there, you know. I'll show you a fistful. Well, following the setup of any recipe is important, but enjoying what you cook comes first. Surprisingly, that's probably the best framework for any recipe. See, now that's what I'm talking about. I totally agree. And thanks for the new recipe. My pleasure. Come and enjoy a bite to eat here every once in a while, too. Can we actually get food here? So, new recipe. If I could remember which button does what. There we go. It's a sit-down recipe. Restores 500 HP to everyone. Takes flour, eggs, and steak. But we don't have any eggs or steak. So let's see. Bracer Guild is next. Still 7th class. Did you find out anything about the incident? You bet. Valuable information at that. The Sky Bandits in the Kappa family. You're right, that is valuable information. It looks like we'll be able to decide on a policy for the Bracer Guild related to this. However, I'm surprised to hear that General Morgan is an even bigger Bracer hater than I had originally thought. Yeah, I was really surprised myself. In Roland, the job of a Bracer is pretty much respected by everyone, so to encounter someone who hates Bracers that much... Don't worry about it, General Morgan is an exception. Under normal circumstances, the Royal Army and the Guild maintain a pretty good cooperative relationship. However, it looks like this time you're going to have to deal with a lot more than you bargained for. Well, then I guess we'll have to try and make steady efforts while maintaining a low profile. But it looks like these recent burglaries are also the work of the Sky Bandits, right? Yes, taking into account the incident in Roland, it's pretty clear who's behind these. To call them burglaries is one thing, though, because most of the stuff that's been stolen hasn't been all that valuable. I would have never thought they would go so far as to commit a heinous crime like hijacking the Lind. Now that you mention it, that is rather odd. The burglary that happened in Roland was also rather mild in comparison. Yeah, and to hijack an airliner and then to turn around and demand a ransom from the royal family. The risks there are greater than any potential reward. In light of that, we should probably do a little more on the investigative side ourselves. So, what do we have posted on the job board? Bear Claw survey. Plant nodes the Bear Claw grows. Enable Valley Monster. And West Bowes Monster. So let's see. I guess we'll go talk to the pharmacist. I don't know where we can find Bear Claws aside from Mistwald, but we can get more information from him, right? If we can figure out which... Okay. Got it right the first time. Can I help you find something? My medicine works wonders. We came here after seeing something posted on the bulletin board at the Bracer Guild. Could you by any chance be Spence? Oh, you're Bracers, are you? I've been waiting for you to come. Guess we can dispense with the formalities then. I understand you're trying to find places where the Bear Claw grows, correct? Yes, the Bear Claw is a medicinal herb that's difficult to find in these parts. Up until now, I had been having them shipped from Roland, but just recently I was asked by Father Holstein to prepare a new medicine. So it seems like I'm going to be using more of these than before. Doesn't it seem weird that we have two quests related to the Bear Claw? That's why I decided to find my own sources. The Bear Claw, huh? If I remember right, it grows in the forest of Mistwald and Roland. The Bear Claw is said to grow well in humid locations. I'm pretty sure it probably grows in a place like that in Bowes. Man, I guess all it can do is hit the road and start conducting a thorough search. Such investigations are an important part of a Bracer's work. Just think of it as a good opportunity to learn. I guess there's no other option, huh? Alright, if we come across any Bear Claw flowers, we'll come and let you know. Okay, I'm counting on you kids, and be careful out there. So, let's see. Oh. Come on, Missy, I'm begging you, please let us in. If I could just get a comment from the mayor, I'd be on my merry little way. Yep, that's right, and of course I'd need a photograph too. I'm sure the mayor would be flattered, but she's extremely busy. I'm going to have to ask all those without an appointment to leave. I hope you can understand the situation. Come on, please. For an incident this huge, we hardly know anything about the circumstances surrounding it. And I have an obligation to inform the readers. But, yeah, what about the readers? We can probably reach double the number if we have the mayor grace the cover. She's said to be very beautiful after all. Don't think you're helping there. Dorothy, why do you have to go and say something like that? Huh? But it was you who was saying the same thing, remember? You said if we didn't have any news to go on, we could lure customers to buy the magazine by featuring the sexy mayor on the cover. Oh boy, you're digging yourself deeper there. You idiot! Miss? Well, aren't you two a couple of interesting visitors? I'll make sure to tell Mayor Maybell about the details of our conversation. At the moment, however, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Wait, this is a misunderstanding. Please leave. Fine. So are we going to be okay not getting a photograph of the mayor then? Please, for the love of Adios and my sanity, just keep your mouth shut. Niall, wait for me. Phew. Huh? Good afternoon, Lila. Oh, it's you bracers again. Did you just return from the Hawken Gate? Yeah, something like that. So, those two you just turned away. A bunch of unscrupulous individuals. Really? Those miscreants said they planned to use the mayor to make some quick mira. But as long as I'm here to protect my mistress, I won't allow that to happen. You know, why do they use mira in situations or contexts where you just say money? Like, we don't use dollars that way. I see. You're really serious about your job, aren't you? Deadly serious. That's because it's my duty. Anyway, why don't you all come inside? The mayor is waiting for you. Niall would be so jealous. Okay. Butler and... let us just invade every room of the mayor's house before we find which one she's in. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Dealing with complaints from the citizens. Late deliveries of goods to the Bose market because of the airspace being in no-fly zone. Servicing the sewers facilities. Selecting a congratulatory gift for Her Majesty the Queen. Harm incurred by monsters on the new Ansel path. We didn't start the fire. It was always... yeah, whatever. When will all this paperwork finally end? Hello? Oh, are you back already? You look pretty busy, so would it be better if we came back at a later time? No, you're fine. So you found out something from General Morgan, right? I'd like to hear about it. Good work. I feel like I have a much clearer picture of the situation now. First, there was a hijacking by the Sky Bandits, and now a ransom demand? The situation is much more serious than I had originally anticipated. If the General hadn't found out we were bracers, I think we could have... wow. I think we could have learned more, but... no, it's alright. I'm just glad to know that it wasn't a crash. With this information, I should be able to take effective countermeasures with the city. Now I need to think of a way to inform the citizens of Bose and deal with the families of the passengers. I imagine that'll be quite a difficult task, considering that you're already as busy as you are. Well, that's just the duty of a mayor. And since the identity of the criminals is now known, may I ask that you continue your investigation of the incident? Of course, that was our plan to begin with. We've already had a run-in with these Sky Bandits before. And I'll wager the honor of the guild that this is one group we cannot simply leave up to the Royal Army. Yeah, that's for sure. There's Dad to find, and then we need to deal with these Sky Bandits once and for all. Huh? What's with the look, Joshua? I was just thinking, and no matter which way I look at things, I just can't believe it. What can't you believe? That Dad could get beaten by a bunch of sky bandits. Basing my judgment on the ability of the group that appeared in Roland, I'm in agreement with you there. Cassius could have easily dealt with the group of that caliber. Come on, Joshua, you too, Shara. You're giving him way more credit than he deserves. He's pretty good, I'll give you that, but I think it would be a bit of a stretch to take on an entire group. Do you mind if I ask you something? Are you trying to tell me that your father was aboard that airliner? Oh, didn't I mention that? I'm embarrassed to say it, but yeah, he was, not to mention he's a bracer too. His name's Cassius Bright. Did you just say Cassius Bright? Yeah, why? Do you know my dad or something? I've never met him in person, but I've heard a great deal about him. I'm sorry, I just don't know what to say. But we might be able to use this to get some information from the army. Excuse me, Mayor? I'm very sorry, and I can empathize with what you must be going through. If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this incident, then I am at your disposal. If there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask. I wonder what's up with the Mayor. As soon as we mentioned Dad's name, she got all surprised. You're right, but I guess I can imagine where she's coming from. The Mayor and the General have known one another for a long time, after all. Well, let's not worry about that right now. The real question is, where do we go from here? Just searching around blindly for the airliner or sky bandits probably won't amount to anything, right? I mean, if that's all it'd take, then the army would have found them a long time ago. Huh? What's the matter with you two? Estelle, you've matured. If it had been the same you as before, you probably would have said something like, let's just comb the entire region. I never thought I'd see the day when those words would come out of your mouth either. My heart's too full of emotions for words. So what are you two trying to say? You can be so rude sometimes, I hope you know. We were complimenting you, Estelle, seriously. Unfortunately, unlike Roland, the Bose region is enormous. I'm really hoping for a clue right about now. A clue, huh? Alright, wasn't that Niall and Dorothy we saw in front of the Mayor's place earlier? He seemed pretty starved for a story, but he's gotta know something by now, right? It's true he arrived in Bose a little before we did, so I think it may be worth talking to him. I wonder where they went. So there was one room in the Mayor's residence that we didn't go in, so might as well check that out. Nothing, I didn't think so. I'm not sure if talking to the Mayor again does anything. I didn't think so. Okay, well, let's go talk to Niall and Dorothy, I guess. And I would expect to find them at the bar, so... let's see. There we go. Can't buy any more food, can we? Oh, I actually do need that right now. So we learned the recipe. Every time. So 250 HP for everyone. And also KO cure. Delightfully cheesy dish that's gentle on the stomach. Does this person have anything to say? Okay. There you are, sir. Oh, god dang it. This ain't a joke, you know. Ugh. Well, we found him, but he's drunk off his butt. Was having his article rejected really that much of a shock to his system? He's just acting like the man he is. Men are pigs, after all. Though he seems to have forgotten that alcohol is a drink to be consumed, not a drink to be consumed by. You're one to talk. Don't they sometimes call you Bottomless Shara? Oh please, Bottomless is much more suitable for a woman like Ina. I, on the other hand, can hold my liquor. No matter how much I may drink, my face and my disposition remain unreddened. So don't you dare group a fun-loving drinker like myself in the same category as this clumsy lush. Oh, come now. When you get drunk, you lose it completely and everyone around you gets a heck of a show. Admit it. It's certainly true that Ina is like a bucket to share a sieve. But no matter how you look at it, they're both pretty bottomless. I'm sensing disrespect, children. Where am I? Good, you're awake, sort of. Drinking so much is not good for your health, you know. My head. What the? You're that bracer trainee, aren't you? Oh my goddess, what the heck am I doing in Roland? Thought I'd made my way to Bose. What are you mumbling about, you sponge? You are in Bose, and so are we. Oh, well darn, don't scare me like that. Oh, I see you've got a lovely lass with you. Named Sherazard Harvey, the pleasure's all yours, I'm sure. I'm the mentor of these two. Sherazard? Are you the infamous Silver Streak by any chance? Oh, you humble me, sir. I take it you've heard of me, then. Only rumors, I'm afraid, but yes, I know your name. You're one of the top young bracers, if I'm not mistaken. Which means you three are here to investigate the incident as well, I suppose. Oh, so you do have some brains left in there after all that booze. I'm impressed. You find anything out? We saw you by the mayor's house. You seemed pretty troubled. They saw that? Yeah, I was looking for clues and couldn't find any. That's what I figured. Darned Army's regulations on the spread of information really restrict what I'm able to learn anyway. And if I try to consult General Morgan at the Hawken Gate directly, I'll be held up for inspection for who knows how long. So I figured I'd at least try to score an interview with the legendarily voluptuous mayor, but a maid turned me away outright. And to top it all off, that useless girl kept screwing everything up. Everything! Oh great Adios, tell me, what did I do to deserve this shabby life? Well, you did try to do an exclusive on the mayor's chest. But if you want information that badly, we might share some of ours with you. Huh? We're actually investigating the incident on Mayor Maybell's behalf right now. So naturally, we've met with the mayor and General Morgan too, for that matter. Holy crap, you serious? Yep, totally. Score, and the goddess gets a point. Blessed be the bounty of Adios. Please, I beg of you, tell me everything, every last detail. We'll be glad to. However, you should drink plenty of water to cancel out that hangover. Aren't you forgetting something, Niall? Huh? Information ain't free, you know. We'll scratch your back, but you need to scratch ours first. And get that look off your face. I totally do not mean that literally. You want Mira or something? My research funds are long exhausted at this point, I'm sorry to say. We're not interested in your money. We just find it fascinating that you made your way to Bose right after this incident occurred. Seems like you might have heard some interesting things yourself. That being the case... Ugh, and here I thought you were a nice kid. Turns out you're just a slimy little leech like me. I'll tell you what I know, but rest assured, it's not big news by any stretch of the imagination. As long as it's related to the incident, no matter how trivial it may seem, I'll take it. Just don't be stingy. Give it to us straight, okay? Fine, fine, I'll tell you everything on my honor as a newsman. I got 2 clues to share, so if you're taking notes, I suggest you get out your pen and paper. We're ready whenever you are. Man, way to go, Joshua, you're on a roll. Well, if he ever gets tired of being a bracer, well, he'll have a bright future in racketeering with those skills. The first clue is in the form of an eyewitness report from the village of Ravenue to the west. I talked to a villager who'd just come to Bose for a visit, and she told me something very interesting. Apparently, she knows a kid who saw a huge shadow flying overhead on the night of the incident. A huge shadow flying overhead? Yep, airship, I told him. Maybe even that missing one. But the army checked it out and found absolutely nothing. Aw, you meanie, you raised our hopes only to dash them straight away. So you're saying somebody saw something, but it was probably unrelated to anything. That's what I'm saying. I warned you it wasn't big news. And I went to a lot of trouble to get this sad morsel too, what with that information embargo in place and all. Well done. Now let's hear that second clue of yours. Fine. The other thing I learned is that the military's intelligence division is on the move. Intelligence division? I've heard rumors about them. It's a new royally sanctioned branch of the army in charge of intelligence gathering and dissemination. That's the one, yeah. Supposedly they're so elite they can even stand toe-to-toe with the royal bodyguards. The man they put in charge, Colonel Richard, is apparently quite the whiz kid. With him on the case, they say this incident is as good as solved already. Doesn't seem like your information will be of much use to us in our investigation. Yeah, well, can't say I didn't warn you. Sorry I couldn't help much on your end. But a promise is a promise. I scratched, now it's your turn. Of course, a deal is a deal, after all. The cap was Sky Bandits, a ransom demand to the Royal House and the Airship Corporations? Good goddess, that's exactly what I needed. That's the missing link I've been killing myself to find. Caught your fancy, did it? Absolutely, I can definitely write my article now. I can't be wasting my time getting drunk here. I have to find Dorothy, post-haste. See you later, you wonderful people, you. Well, his mood seems to have improved a lot. Yeah, wow, his spirits certainly lifted fast. Well, he was chasing a big story pretty unsuccessfully until we came along. It's only natural. I'm glad we could help him out. Well, look at you. From Mr. I'll break your kneecaps if you don't talk to Mr. Nice Guy in under a minute. Talk about a split personality. Stop thinking weird things about me. I was just negotiating, a little give and take, nothing more. Hehe, a bad boy exterior with a good boy inside, or is it the other way around? Either way, I'm sure the girls love it. But anyway, I guess we've only really dealt with scrupulous people thus far. We're pretty lucky in that regard. Start dealing with weirdos, and that's when you'll need to bust out some really questionable negotiation techniques. Why were you looking at me when you said that? Anyway, that aside, was anyone else a little bothered when Niall talked about that huge flying shadow thing? That eyewitness report from Revenue? I'd say there's a strong chance there is nothing to it if the army already checked it out. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like the army is totally infallible. They could have missed something. And it wasn't General Morgan himself, after all, but one of his men, and some of those guys are pretty thick-headed. That is true. Probably worth looking into. Certainly can't hurt at any rate. You two are starting to get the hang of this, I see. I think this is a splendid idea. Let's head to Revenue then, shall we? Got it. And there we go. And hey, we even got our HP and EP refilled. So, next time we will be doing stuff. What kind of stuff exactly we will be doing? Well, probably of the side questy nature, but we'll see which one I want to do first. So, I will see you then. Go ahead and save here, too.